Hey guys, welcome back to another video where today we get to predict with you guys the scores for week 16 of this 2023-2024 Premier League season. We're recording this on Thursday evening. There's two matches still being played in the Premier League, and currently Spurs are 1-0 up against West Ham and Newcastle are drawing at Goodison Park against Everton. I think Newcastle are having plenty of possession, but Everton are having the better chances. So at the moment, for the overall leaderboard, Joggett is still at the top of the table, and if you want to join in with all the fun, then make sure you leave your predictions at the end of this video over on the Superbru website. But let's just dive straight in with a two-footed tackle, as you usually say, Nathan, and make our predictions.
Okay, so first up we have Palace against Liverpool at 12:30 on TNT. Now, Liverpool pushing up into second now, 2 wins on the bounce, very, very good. Palace starting to stumble a little bit, falling. That trend I think is just going to continue for both teams, so 2-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, Palace coming under a little bit of pressure now, aren't they? They're currently 14th in the table, only the 1 win in 6 matches. Could Hodgson be under a little bit of pressure? He's been in this position before, hasn't he? They were beaten soundly by Bournemouth 2-0. Coming up against Liverpool, got to fancy Liverpool in this one. Looking a little bit more solid at the back and going forward as well. They've got plenty of options, but Nunes is still failing to hit at the back of the net on a regular basis. So, like you, Nathan, I'm going to go for an away victory. I'm going to go for 2-0 to the Reds as well. We then move on to the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, where we've got Brighton coming up against Burnley. Now, Burnley had that lovely result recently against Sheffield Utd, where they won 5-0. However, midweek they came a cropper against a resilient Wolves side. Again, it was Burnley not scoring the goals. Brighton themselves, they came away with a 2-1 victory when I think they were 1-0 down for a penalty in that match against Brentford. When they at home again, Brighton continue to concede goals, so I can see actually Burnley scoring in this one, but Gross is looking good, scoring and assisting, so I'm going to go for a Seagulls win in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-1 scoreline.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. Burnley are definitely going to score in this one, especially with the way they've been playing, breaking teams down. We're going to see these results from Burnley this season, where you see the 5-0s, the 4-0s, but only in certain games where they do dominate and play like the way they did in the Championship. So let's go 2-1 Brighton. Next up we have Man United against Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth 3 wins in 4, doing extremely well actually, especially against the teams around them, getting that good win against Newcastle as well. Whereas Man United, everyone knows their problems at the moment. We don't need to go into much detail about that. For me, that's going to be a draw. I just can't knock back Bournemouth in this one. 1-1.
1-1. Well, Bournemouth, I know they've won 2 matches away from home this season. That is in their previous 2 matches that they played away from home. Manchester United, though, at the moment, a different kettle of fish at home. A lot of people were predicting a Chelsea victory at Old Trafford. It wasn't to be. The Red Devils coming through with a couple of goals from McTominay in that match, going ahead 1-0, and it was 1-1, and he scored the winner. So I think Bournemouth will give them a difficult afternoon. However, at home on a Saturday afternoon, you've got to fancy Red Devils, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory in this one. But Bournemouth playing well, and if they hadn't picked up form, then they would have been dragged into that relegation battle. But it's good to see Bournemouth doing well and currently in 15th position on 16 points. Next up, we've got Sheffield United coming up against Brentford, and looking at relegation candidates. Well, Sheffield United look, not dead and buried yet, but it looks like they will be returning to the Championship at the end of the season. Losing again in midweek against Liverpool 2-0, and prior to that it was that thumping against Burnley. Brentford succumbing to a loss against Brighton, and Mbeumo, whether he'll be available for this one, I think he's got a bit of an ankle injury or something. He'll be a loss for the Bees, but they're playing Sheffield United. Sheffield United finding it very, very difficult to score goals. I think Brentford will get at least one, and I think they'll come out on top, and it'll be a 1-0 narrow away victory to Brentford for me in this one.
Yeah, Chris Wilder returning to Bramall Lane as well. That is one appointment that really surprises me after the way he departed as well.
Maybe he'll tighten up at the back.
Could tighten up at the back, but
Scoring is their issues, isn't it?
Scoring is their issues, and they're going to have trouble against Brentford. 1-0, but going to keep it tight. Bit of a bounce, but it's just going to limit the losses for me. So, yeah, 1-0 Brentford. Moving on, next up we've got Wolves coming up against Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest, the out-of-form team in the league, and saying that, they're even in worse form than Sheffield United at the moment. A lot of pressure on Cooper. I don't think it's time to push the panic button yet, because you can just see, in particular against Fulham, that the players just can't be bothered. Like, they're just all over the place, aren't they? What can Cooper do with those attitudes, honestly? And then Wolves, very patchy in themselves, did get that 1-0 victory against Burnley, but they're grinding out the results that they need to be fair. So, going to go for 2-0 to Wolves in this one.
Yeah, I fancy Wolves in this one. A good win against Burnley. It must have been full of confidence with that victory a couple of game weeks ago. I think Wolves probably score a couple of goals in this one. It'd be very interesting to see what sort of Nottingham Forest side runs out at Molineux. A couple of their central defenders have been put on the transfer list apparently, so
squad's too big.
Yeah, they've had a lot of an influx of new faces, etc. A lot of changes since last season, so yeah, they need to get some stability there. I think it's four losses on the bounce for Forest, so I think it's going to be 5. Probably right. Cooper is under a lot of pressure at the moment. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Wolves. Mm-hmm. Next up, we got the 5:30 kickoff, and this is the game of the weekend, isn't it? It's Aston Villa against Arsenal. Arsenal, top of the table. Aston Villa in 3rd position.
Yep.
An absolutely fantastic win against Manchester City, and okay, it was 1-0, but they could have scored a few more than they did. Really made Manchester City look ordinary. We know they've got some issues with Rodri, a massive loss in the centre of midfield for Manchester City, but Villa were worthy winners. Arsenal, okay, you came back late in that match against Luton, but they grounded out, and that's 5 victories on the bounce for the Gunners. They're top of the table. They're ahead of Liverpool by 2 points, so thoroughly deserving their top spot in the Premier League. Going to Villa Park, Aston Villa, phenomenal record at Villa Park. Yeah. It's going to be tight, but I do fancy Aston Villa to take all 3 points. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 just to keep it a bit more level, but either way, it's more likely that Villa are going to win at home. That record is just obscene in the way that they're playing with that squad. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal squad. Unai Emery set them up perfectly, so yeah, 1-1.
And for Arsenal, you've got Jesus is playing well.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz is knocking in the goals as well.
Good form, to be fair. This is a brilliant clash, to be fair. But moving on, Sunday, Everton, Chelsea. Chelsea, just the most inconsistent team ever, aren't they? Currently languishing in 10th, which is still better than what they did last season. Chelsea just completely inconsistent. I mean, they're still doing better than they did last season, to be fair. So losing to Man United, that's a good result for you could say, for them. Whereas Everton, pushing out of the relegation zone, considering the points deduction, of course, actually in decent form, grinding out the results that they need as well. So just going to edge it to Chelsea 2-1. Close.
2-1, yeah. Everton are in decent form, and we know all about that points deduction, and if they hadn't been deducted those points, they'd be like mid-table, wouldn't they? So tight one. Chelsea inconsistent, as you say. They've got an array of talent. I just don't think they've been, who do they play each week? They've got to get a bit more of a settled side there, haven't they? But for me, I think Goodison Park, it's going to end up all square, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, also on Sunday at 2 o'clock, we got Fulham coming up against West Ham. Fulham having that phenomenal victory against a very, very poor Nottingham Forest side. West Ham currently 1-0 down against Spurs. Okay, West Ham
grinding back into it.
Yeah, going forward, looking good. They're currently in 9th position. Okay, without a defeat in their last 3 matches, but they could be facing defeat this evening. Mohamed Kudus looks a real good player on the wing and in midfield, and I think the West Ham fans voted his volley that he recently scored as goal of the month as well. He's a real exciting player, Kudus. So this one, I think it's going to be full of goals. Fulham will be full of confidence as well. They've got a lot of talent going forward, and I think that's going to cause West Ham some issues, and I can see Fulham winning this one 3-2.
Interesting. I'm going to keep it. I just don't know where to go with this one. 1-1. West Ham could turn up on the day. Fulham, you don't know what side they're going to put out as well. Just going to cancel each other out. 1-1 for me. Moving on, Luton, Man City. Luton still keeping themselves out of the drop zone, but they are being competitive, especially at home, which is good. And Manchester City, I don't even know what to say at the moment. So they've got to crawl it back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Luton score, but Pep's going to have to... He's going to have to do something here, isn't he? And Pep always seems to deliver against the newly promoted sides as well, so 3-0.
3-0, yeah. I think Man City will win this one. Luton, as you say, they've been very competitive recently. They've scored in 5 of the last 6 matches as well, but Man City will need to shore up a little bit more at the back now, which I think they will against this Luton side. Very tight pitch there at Kenilworth Road. I think the Citizens will come away with a 2-0 win in the end. And the final fixture of this game week takes place on Sunday, 4:30 live on Sky in the UK. We've got Spurs against Newcastle. Another very, very good tie, this one. Newcastle in very, very good form. We'll see what happens with them at the end of this evening as well.
Yeah.
A great win against Manchester United and Chelsea recently. And Spurs currently in 5th position, okay. Prior to this evening, it was 3 losses and a draw. And I tell you what, I fancy Newcastle to go to London and actually come away with all 3 points. Yeah, both Anthony Gordon and Almiron's looking sharp. Isaac's come back into the side now, and he'll be looking to hit the back of the net as well. So yeah, 2-1 to the Magpies for me.
Interesting, yeah. Tottenham's form. That's the problem. I know they're probably going to get a win tonight, but I can't back him. 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1, same as me. So that concludes our predictions for game week 16. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. Link in the description and the code there as well. Now, Nathan, Cardiff City against Millwall this Saturday afternoon. At last, we're back in action. Back to live football, presumably.
Yeah, there'll be one.
Will you be vlogging?
Yes, there'll be. So much on the description below. Also, another manager's gone, so who's next?
Who's next?
Yes.
Well, if Forest get thumped on the weekend, you've got to look at Cooper's under massive pressure. See what the owners think. If they lose this one, and definitely the one after that, if they get thumped again, then it could be Cooper. So. The
Forest owner actually threw his lanyard in someone's front garden.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
After he left that Fulham game. So
Turkish, isn't he? Or Greek?
Greek, yeah, Marinakis.
Ship owner or something like that. Shipping company or something like that.
Yeah, he also owns Olympiacos as well. Yeah. So for that case, I'm probably going to unfortunately go Cooper. Make sure he gets the Wales job, by the way. Aside from that, I actually think Vincent Kompany's in a bit of pressure as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you could say that too. There we are then, guys. Thanks for watching us once again. Enjoy your Premier League weekend. It's coming up to the festive season, so there's going to be a lot more videos coming out soon. Yeah, cheers, guys. We'll see you all real soon.
6 shots, yeah, straight to the face, and I wanna get lost. I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way, so I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face, and I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop